I am of the opinion that Doug Carter, superintendent of the police department in Indiana and Carroll County, as well as Nicholas McLeland, the prosecutor in Indiana and Carroll County, has been working in concert with the victim's family to bring about the deprivation of due process in Richard Allen's case. This conspiracy, this orchestrated, nefarious scheme has three objectives. The first objective is so nefarious that it's dual in its purpose on one prong. That first prong is to taint the minds of all potential jurors in any county that this case may be moved to. The second duplicity of this first prong is to taint the minds of public opinion into believing that Richard Allen is guilty. When you take these two prongs in its first prong of the conspiracy and understand the depths of it, you will know how hard that they are gunning to violate his due process rights to a fair trial. Now, I have direct and circumstantial evidence to prove this conspiracy. When these two state actors set out to conspire against Richard Allen by working with the mother and fathers of the victims, the sister, as well as Becky Patty, the grandmother, their actions place me on notice that they don't have a case against Richard Allen. So I can declare today, based on these facts, based on what we know so far about this crime, Richard Allen will walk. The evidence is legally insufficient to support a murder conviction, because in Indiana, it does not matter if you are the perpetrator or you are the accomplice. It doesn't matter. There's no distinction there. This is why the prosecutor charged him like he did, because the prosecutor don't have a case. So I'm going to run these clips and show you how this conspiracy has been played out. And this should bother the world. So without further ado, check out these clips.
Do you think Mr. Allen is the man on that bridge?
The judge signed a probable cause affidavit for the arrest of him. I can't wait to tell the story, but today's not the day.
When do you think you can tell that story?
We're going to let the courts decide.
In other words, let them decide when they can release that PC.
Well, and then even then, remember, even then, when the PC is released, due process is still a piece of all this puzzle. And this isn't over until it's over. And that's where the conviction of him.
And just this evening, Libby German's sister, Kelsey, responded to the possibility of an early error in the case. She tells us, "I have full faith in the team working on this case and will continue to support them in any way I can as we work toward a conviction and justice for Abby and Libby."
Point out too, he presented the judge 4 pieces of what he considered to be key evidence in this fight to keep these documents sealed. And one of them, the third aspect of this that he submitted, was actually a written letter from Becky Patty. And of course, that's the grandmother of Libby German. That letter was asking the judge and the court to keep those documents sealed. The other thing that the prosecutor submitted today was a petition, and it had more than 40,000 signatures on it from community members who agreed that the documents should be sealed.
Did y'all catch what Doug Carter, superintendent, just said? I'm going to start with his clip first. He stated to the reporter, remember, even when a probable cause affidavit come out, due process still is a part of this. It's not over till it ends with a conviction. He didn't say it's over when it ends with a trial on the merits. And then the jury renders a verdict. See, ladies and gentlemen, he said it's over when a conviction. How are you going to already come out and state to the public that it ain't over until it's a conviction? People, those are cold words that he's sending to every juror, every potential juror, to every person's minds in society that this man is guilty. Because he said, hey, look, when that probable cause affidavit come out, he said that like that probable cause affidavit was something. And as you can see, it's nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the evidence right there. Now let's move on to Kelsey Germany's sister. She made a statement to the press saying she has full faith in the team that's working the case. You don't say nothing like that unless you're part of the team. She said the team. She didn't say law enforcement. The Indiana Police Department has been working on this case and referring themselves in conjunction with the FBI as teams. Now, all of a sudden, Kelsey Germany used the term team. That's because the family has aligned themselves with law enforcement to conspire to convict Richard Allen by leaking information to them, swaying them that he's guilty. And as you can see in Kelsey Germany's station, she says, working toward a conviction. She didn't say working toward a fair trial. There go two pieces of evidence that's circumstantial and direct, that they have their minds made up and they are working in concert to poison the minds of Carroll County and pretty much public opinion. So, when you have these two state actors working in conjunction with the family to state working toward a guilty verdict, it's not over till a guilty verdict. What are they doing, people? They are implying what the verdict should be, regardless of the evidence, regardless if the prosecutor cannot carry its burden. That's very powerful, people. Now let's go to the grandmother, Becky Patty. She orchestrated a petition to keep the probable cause affidavit sealed. Why? Because she already knew what was in the probable cause affidavit, as well as the other family member, before the public. Why would a person do what she did unless she already knew what was in that probable cause affidavit? But yet, Doug Carter played it up as though he couldn't wait for the probable cause affidavit to come out. And as it come out, as you can see, hey, folks, I don't care what any legal analysis say. There is no circumstantial evidence that Richard Allen is guilty at this point in the game. I will submit that they haven't conducted discovery, but I also will submit, based on what I'm seeing, they got Nathaniel nothing. See, what I just put before you is simple, but a lot of people have not seen it, hasn't seen it, but you see it now. You cannot, as a unbiased mind, be talking about working toward a guilty verdict for Richard Allen when you haven't heard any real evidence. You hear a narrative, but no evidence. So I cannot condone nor can I move toward justice for any victim in the name of a conspiracy, in the name of a denial of due process. For all practical purposes, people, I expect Richard Allen to walk a free man, because the case of Indiana against Richard Allen is no case at all. It is conjecture. It is guesswork. They have had over 5 years to come to a conclusion in its matter. At no time or occasion did Richard Allen try to throw away a blue jacket, any clothes related. At no time did Richard Allen try to evade that he was not there. Had Richard Allen at any point in time attempted to evade and say he wasn't there, then they would have a circumstantial evidence case. The fact that he was there, no blood on his clothes, no blood found in his vehicles. What do that tell you, people? The fact that the prosecution has not made known the manner of death is a telling story. It should be noted that I am of a firm belief that they were not shot. They was cut up in some form or fashion. That's why the charging instrument, we have not actually seen the charging instrument of the prosecutor, the sworn complaint, saying how this crime was carried out. That's what the public need to see, and that's what Richard Allen has a right to see. And this is what they're trying to cover up, people. I tell you again today, I declare today that Richard Allen will be found not guilty. I'm signing off. Greetings to all my subscribers. Y'all have a nice evening.